I call this meeting of the Alvin Independent School District order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, and this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. And the first thing we're going to have is a public hearing regarding the 2023-2024 Alvin ISD budget and tax rate. Mr. Combs.
Thank you, President Humbird. Board Superintendent Nelson, thank you for the opportunity to speak to the Alvin ISD budgeting process for the 23-24 school year. Thank you for your diligent efforts that have gone into preparation for this evening. And we are having a little bit of a delay here, Mark, on the clicker. But we want to talk about the goal that we established for the budgeting process for this work, and that was to provide financial clarity and recommendations that take into consideration student and district needs, both current and into the future, so the Alvin ISD vision becomes the reality for all students. So that was really our endeavor as we went into this process. But it's important that we take a look at where we stand financially, the health of the district as we go into this work. And so you can see a number of the indicators that show we're in a good place. The state of Texas said that we have a superior financial rating. We have a clean audit from an external auditor. And we also have received awards for the greatest levels of transparency that a governmental entity is able to achieve. And so as we look to the next school year, there's a number of considerations that needed to go into the budget. And certainly that is to maintain the board's priority on supporting instructional programs and extracurricular programs. The board has also established a longstanding priority of supporting recruitment and retention of staff, and we have Nichols Mock Elementary opening next year. So the first thing that we looked at through our annual budgeting process was the overall variables that contribute to revenue. So first we looked at our projections that we get from Zonda Demographics, looking at how many students we anticipate enrolling in Alvin ISD next year. We continue to be a fast growth district, and so those numbers were considered extensively. One of the areas that has received the most attention from our community certainly has been the significant valuation increases that have been experienced here in Alvin ISD and of course across the state. It's important to remember that the sizable increases that we have experienced for a few years are actually driven by the Comptroller's Office of the state of Texas. And so this past year we had about an 18% increase. And the Comptroller rendered the opinion that the values that were asserted by the appraisal district were actually too low. The Comptroller of Texas said that they had our values at 91% compared to the 100% here. And they caused the appraisal district to continue to increase those overall evaluations. And so that continues to drive increases like the 32% we experienced this year. But it is really important to remember that although we have seen historic valuation increases, that does not generate additional revenue for our school district. Many of our community members don't understand that. This simplistic illustration up here is really how we receive our operational funding. The number of students that we serve, the percent of attendance that they come to school, the weighted programs, the things they participate like career and technical ed, those generate increased funding. That determines a total number of dollars that Alvin ISD has available to expend. That is made up of some local revenue and some state revenue. So essentially when local values go up and more dollars are collected here, the state revenue is offset. Our district still has the same amount of revenue driven by that calculation. Board, when we had this conversation through the budgeting process, we were in the middle of the legislative session. And we were hopeful that the legislature would use the $33 billion surplus to support public education, as many times they stated they were going to. Unfortunately, that has not come to fruition just yet. So when we had the conversations, we talked about the potential increase to the basic allotment. Right now, that's $6,160. That's the amount that goes into this calculation. And we were hopeful that some of the pieces of legislation that were filed will go through, and that might increase about $90. It has not happened yet. It's important for our staff to take note of this, because had the state honored that commitment, that would provide some obligation to give some staff salary increases for teachers driven by legislative action, and that has not happened. But I think they'll be pleased if they follow along to see what the board's intended action is this evening. So we'll come back to that. This is the ratio that I spoke to. The school district, even with value increases going up, we receive the X number of dollars. It's just a division of state and local funds. So as we had the conversation, we had to model what we anticipated revenue to be. All those variables that we just highlighted go into our revenue projection efforts. Last year we had a board-approved budget of $339 million, and we are anticipating revenue of $359.8 million for this coming school year. And so those are the dollars that we have to talk about for budget to be approved for the coming school year. From the expenditures standpoint, there are a number of areas we had extensive conversation about some potential allocations, including personnel positions, many of those included in the proposed budget, our staffing units for Iowa Colony High School adding the junior year, as well as Nichols Mock Elementary opening for the coming year, as well as some special education positions and transportation positions as well. From the additional allocations, budget increases, some would say, the board has expressed interest in supporting campuses with campus budget increases, supporting student programs such as career and technical education, special education, our extracurricular programs, as well as supporting some of the rising costs for maintenance and operations, and insurance costs continue to rise rapidly. We also have a portion of the budget that's proposed to the board that includes non-annual expenditures. These include those one-time purchases that are quite costly. Many of those fall under the umbrella of maintenance and operations, technology, and transportation. And so a moment ago, we referenced that had the state taken action to increase the basic allotment, there would be some obligation to have a cost of living adjustment passed on, a raise passed on to teachers, librarians, counselors, and nurses. That hasn't happened. That didn't happen. We remain hopeful that the state will take action. But thanks to the conversations with the board and your continued commitment to the recruitment and retention of staff, the budget that is being proposed this evening includes the dollars that we anticipate, and we hope and we encourage the state to take that action. So our board has passed a cost of living adjustment for teachers and staff since 2008. And thanks to the leadership of this group and Superintendent Nelson, that is included in the budget this evening, even absent the delayed action from the legislative body in Austin. So thank you to the board for that consideration. Up here, you'll see how our budget is distributed based on percent of allocation. We always compare how we sit compared to state averages. Our intention as a learning organization is to put the priority of dollars into the classroom supporting instruction. And in Alvin ISD, 61.2% of the budget proposed this evening goes directly to instruction. That is countered with the state average that school districts spend 57.65% of the budget directly on instruction. So that's a positive indicator. Another thing that we keep a close eye on is our administrative expenses, because dollars should go to instruction. And so in Alvin ISD, the proposed percentage is 2.2% of the budget, and the state average is 3.84%. So Alvin ISD remains well below the state average for administrative expenses. So those are the highlights from our operational budget. With regards to our debt service budget or our interest and sinking budget, you'll see a couple of the factors up here, the amount that our payment will be. But what's important to take note is that there's no increase recommended for the overall INS tax rate. That remains the same as it has for the last few years to meet our overall debt service obligation, largely tied to prior bonds. So for tax rate adoption, it should be noted there is a literal asterisk on the screen, and we still await what happens with the special session, where the House and the Senate have a little bit different view of how to pass on some property tax savings to our taxpayers here locally and across the state. But we remain optimistic and hopeful that compared to last year's tax rate of $1.3777, the board will be able to approve a reduction in the overall tax rate. It should be noted, and the community should be reminded that the Texas Education Agency actually calculates our Tier 1 tax rate. And that doesn't happen for a couple months, and so the board has some limited discretion, but hopefully, in partnership with TEA, the board will be able to consider a tax rate of $1.2977 per $100 of valuation. So a sizable reduction is anticipated and hoped for in Alvin ISD. But this evening, the board will be considering the proposed budget for adoption. And there's a couple other steps along the way. July 25th is the deadline when we'll receive our certified values from the appraisal district for this coming year, And then by October 1st, the Texas Education Agency should certify that calculated maintenance and operations rate. And then we anticipate bringing the tax rate to the board for adoption on September 12th, 2023. So with that, that's an overview of the overall budgeting process for the coming school year, as well as insight into the tax rate adoption process. Are there any questions from the board? From the community members, any comment or questions? Well, board, I would say that concludes our public hearing for the evening.
Thank you, Dr. Combs.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, if I could get you all to please rise, we'll do the invocation and pledge allegiance led by Trustee Peterson.
Please pray with me. Lord, Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with grateful hearts. Thank you for each one meeting here, and thank you today for all your blessings upon our district. We invite you into our hearts and ask that you be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. We ask these things in your Son's precious name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
This time we will administer the oath to the newly elected trustees.
Yes, Board, on 2023 Board of Trustee election was held Saturday, May the 6th. 2023 positions up for election were positions 6 and 7. The votes were canvassed at a special meeting on May the 17th, 2023, with Earl Humberg and Vivian Scheibel being declared as the winners. Having compiled with all legal and district requirements for certifying the election of trustees, it is now appropriate to administer the oath of office to our newly elected trustees. We have the Honorable Judge Mike Merkel this evening that will administer the oath to the newly elected Alvin ISD position 6, Earl Humberg, and position 7, Vivian Scheibel.
You're probably wondering why I have my bathrobe on. It's a choir or an oath of office, which I have the privilege of doing. It's an honor and opportunity to do it. I usually sing solo in the choir. Solo, you can't hear me singing. Hopefully we'll get through this. We're going to put it together, and that way you can get on with the meeting. I, Earl Humberg, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties for the office of Alvin ISD trustee of the state of Texas. And I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state. And I further solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly paid, offered, or promised to pay, contributed, nor promised to contribute any money or valuable thing, or promised any public office or employment, or almost done, as a reward for giving or withholding a vote the election in which I was elected.
at the election for which I was elected.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge. You can stay if you want. I'm just teasing.
All right, now we will have the superintendent's report.
So Board, closing out the end of school was definitely eventful and a lot of things to celebrate. We announced on May the 11th at our employee recognition ceremony that Ms. Claudia Gonzalez from EC Mason will represent our elementary as the elementary teacher of the year. And our secondary teacher of the year was Mr. Larry Salinas from J.B. Hensler College and Career Academy. Both of these individuals will go on to represent us at Region 4 Teacher of the Year competitions. So we're so proud of both of our employees, and congratulations to the campuses and the staff on those campuses as well. Then we celebrated lots of graduates. We had over 1,800 graduates walk the stage at Heritage to accept their diplomas, the class of 2023 on May the 24th, 25th, and 26th. We hosted 4 graduations: Rise, Shadow Creek, Manville High School, and Alvin High School. In a couple of years, we'll add another Iowa Colony High School. So very exciting. And then also in May, we had Alvin High School, Rise Academy, Manville High School, Shadow Creek students took their final walks through their elementary schools. And this is always a fun time for teachers and staff as well as for the students to go back and visit. It becomes an emotional event. Some of you have experienced it and seen our students walk the halls and basically say thank you to their teachers who started where they started their foundation in Alvin ISD. So congratulations to the class of 2023. Then we had our Academic Excellence Banquet, which is always a treat, and that's hosted by the Alvin ISD Education Foundation, and we have several of our volunteers here this evening under the direction of our Executive Director, Ms. Sheila Olson, and we had lots of sponsors that evening, and we hosted, it was the 22nd annual celebration of academic excellence on May the 16th. This celebration recognizes the academic accomplishments of the top 20 seniors at all of our high schools and the top 2 seniors at Rise Academy. They also select their most influential educator, and they're invited that evening as well. And so just a really fun night where we honor the educators as well as the students. So thank you to our Education Foundation for always hosting that for Alvin ISD. And then we had our Yet Mentor Breakfast. May is a busy, busy month. And you see one of our trustees down there and his beautiful bride in the left-hand corner. And then you see some of our other employees who serve as mentors across the district to our students. Over 120 this year volunteers mentored our students throughout the district. It's 30 minutes a week. So if you find it in your schedule to become a Yet Mentor and you haven't tried it yet, reach out to Ms. Passarella. She's our Director of Family and Community Engagement, and it's a great program, and you really do make a difference in the life of a child. And it's 30 minutes a week, and of course, if something comes up, we work with that campus, and it's not, detriment if you're not there every single week, but we do like at least 90 to 95% participation. But it's a great reward for students as well as for yourself. And then a great announcement this weekend, the Athletic Administrator of the Year for the Region 5 UIL Texas High School Athletic Directors Association. Our very own, our Executive Director of Athletics, Coach Mike Bass, was honored in being presented this award for his dedicated service, leadership, special contributions to both local and regional levels of interscholastic athletic administration. So we are going to be honoring him at our August board meeting. He is still at this conference, but congratulations to he and his team, and thanking him for his leadership for our athletic programs.
Very good.
Lots of great things happening.
All right, next we'll have commendations. Trustee Scheibel and trustee Scott.
So good evening, everyone, guests and board. We appreciate you being here today. When I call your name, if you'll come up, we will get some photos and you'll get your commendations. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start. So we're going to talk about the VACE program first. The mission of the TAEA Visual Arts Scholastic Event, which is VACE, is to recognize exemplary student achievement in the visual arts by providing art students and programs a standard of excellence in which to achieve. Students' artwork is submitted for rating through a juried process and is rated on a scale of 1 to 4. So we're going to start with the elementary. And these students received top of team ratings, which is the highest they can get. So when I call your name, please come up and receive your award. So we have Jackson Chance from Alvin Elementary. Christine Wynn from Don Jeter Elementary. Alessandra Flores from Mark Twain Elementary. Leonardo Alvarado from E.C. Mason Elementary. Michaela Allen from R.L. Stevenson Primary. Gabriela Gutierrez from R.L. Stevenson Primary as well. Madeline Volek from R.L. Stevenson as well. And Mason Walther from R.L. Stevenson Primary. Annalie Hernandez from Savannah Lakes. Natalia Macias from Wilder Elementary. Sebastian Salceda from York Elementary. And Julian Becerra Correa from Pomona Elementary. These are our elementary winners. So parents, if you would like to come up and take a picture, we will take a moment to let you do that.
Now, come on, come get the picture.
Smile big. Congratulations. Thank
students.
you.
Great job.
And our junior high platinum ratings is Kayla Hill from Alvin Junior High and Stephanie Lopez from Alvin Junior High. And then from high school state qualifiers were Emma Wynn from Alvin High School. If you are a teacher of one of these students, would you please stand if you are the art teacher for one of these students? Is anyone here? No. Well, we appreciate their art teachers very much, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then moving on to academic UIL state winners, I saw several people come in with their medals. So Shadow Creek High School sophomore Kavia Nadaria placed first place in editorial writing at the 2023 UIL Academic State Meet in Journalism. So if you're here, please come up. She earned the Tops in Texas Awards in editorial writing. I guess maybe you'll have to join my team eventually. I don't know. The UIL judges awarded this recognition to one of the 6 first-place winners for the 1A to 6A conferences for each of the journalism contests. So congratulations. Wow. Awesome. Next, we have the National Junior Honor Society Outstanding Achievement Award. So, the National Junior Honor Society's Outstanding Achievement Award recognizes middle-level students for their commitment to the 5 pillars of National Junior Honor Society: scholarship, service, leadership, character, and citizenship. This award is only given to 500 students nationally. Recently, 2 students from Alvin ISD received this award. They each received a $500 college savings plan to support their educational aspirations. So, Trinity Fan from Nolan Ryan Junior High. Ayana David from Nolan Ryan Junior High. And parents, you're welcome if you would like. Thank you very much. Great
Congratulations.
job. And now on to the state track meet. The state track meet took place May 11th through 13th on the University of Texas campus, and the Iowa Colony High School, Manville High School, and Shadow Creek High School boys and girls track teams made Alvin ISD very proud. So, from Shadow Creek High School, we have Madison Thurmond, Nia Parks, Tiffany Mugby, and Mackenzie Collins. They all won first place in the 4x400 relay.
First place. Do you know what your time was?
Oh, yeah, they know.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yes, and just stay up here because we have several more to go, and most of them are in some of these other categories. So, Aaliyah Peters, Mackenzie Collins, Madison Thurmond, and Sydney Bryant all placed 4th for the 4x200 meter relay. Nia Parks, she placed 5th for the 400 meter dash. Theron Randall placed 5th for the discus. Javion Anderson, Brian Nelson, Ja'Cory Watson, Raheem Hutchins was the 5th place winners for the 4x200 meter.
Who's faster? Which team's faster, the girls or the boys? No, I'm just teasing. let's race. No.
Yes. So this is your Shadow Creek winners.
Congratulations. Ms. Robs, before you dismiss them, I want to know who's seniors and if they're going somewhere for track.
Yes, so which one of you are seniors? You are. And tell us your name and what you're doing.
Maybe on. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
UNC. Who else is a senior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Ooh. Awesome.
Okay.
But you competed at University of Texas in Austin when y'all won, right? I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, good job.
Well, congratulations to all of you. Thank you
Yes.
very much. Great job. And from Manville High School, we have Sammy Haynes, the 100 meter first place and the 400 meter third place.
Wow.
So that was Manville High School. And then Iowa Colony High School, we have Ashton Lewis, who placed first place in the 400 meter.
Oh, no, let them clank. Let them clank.
Congratulations.
Arius Williams, Hannah Young, Bailey Wilturner, and Ashton Lewis all placed third place in the 4x400 meter relay. And Ian Hill placed fifth place in the 400 meters. And Arias Williams, Hannah Young, Adriana Murray, and Bailey Will Turner all placed fifth in the 4x200 meter relay. Parents, if you'd like to come up and take photos, you're welcome to do so.
And just a reminder, Iowa Colony is only freshmen and sophomores. And so their
2 more years.
Students have done such a great job and, wow, already setting school records.
Yes. Can't wait to see what the next couple of years brings.
Wonderful.
How many sophomores, how many freshmen? Sophomores?
Oh, three. 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen.
Wow.
3 freshmen.
Good deal. Good deal.
Well, congratulations to y'all. If any of their coaches are here, would you please stand? Or any of the
Coaches.
coaches? Oh, there we go.
go.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Rives.
At this time, if the kids want to go, we'll let y'all go now.
Have a great summer. Come back.
Thank y'all for coming. All right, this time we're going to have a presentation by the Alvin ISD Education Foundation.
Yes, so Board, the Alvin ISD Education Foundation is a nonprofit educational corporation organized in 1998 for educational and charitable purposes exclusively for the benefit of Alvin ISD. The memorandum of understanding that the foundation has with the district states, the foundation shall annually provide a cost-benefit evaluation to the district regarding the district's investment in the foundation and the foundation's use of this investment for educational or public purposes. This evaluation shall be presented annually to the Alvin ISD Board of Trustees at a public meeting. This evening, we have Ms. Melba Irvin, the foundation president, who will give the presentation. Ms. Irvin.
Good evening, Superintendent Nelson and Board of Trustees. I am Melba Irvin, and I'm the president of the Alvin ISD Education Foundation. With me are several members of the foundation board. With mixed emotions, this presentation tonight is my last official duty as president of this great organization. It has been an enjoyable and challenging 2 years, and it has been amazing to watch the growth of Alvin ISD and of our Education Foundation. The Alvin ISD Education Foundation is here to give our annual board presentation for the 2022-2023 school year. As part of the agreement between the foundation and Alvin ISD, the foundation gives a cost-benefit evaluation annually to the Board of Trustees. For the past 25 years, the foundation has worked hard to support the district and to make a difference. We are proud of all that we have accomplished. Our goal continues to be supporting the students, the staff, and the programs of Alvin ISD. We fund innovative teaching grants, campus grants, scholarships for students, teachers, and paraprofessionals who are continuing their education. We support programs big and small, all to make Alvin ISD the best district that it can be. You only have to look at the success of the Book Bus, the Ready program, and the Alvin ISD STEM Bus to see the impact we have helped create and that we will continue to have. We are proud to share that this school year, the foundation has donated, and I have a check here. Let's see. Over $426,000. Okay, this has been in grants, scholarships, program, and staff support. It includes $37,000 in student scholarships, $63,700 in additional scholarships that we manage, $7,000 for teacher and paraprofessional scholarships, $107,000 for innovative teaching grants, $44,000 campus grants, $49,500 STEM bus donations from the foundation and our generous partners. Since our beginning, we have given well over $1.5 million in innovative teaching grants. We could not have done this without the support of our generous community, business partners, organizations, and of course the staff of Alvin ISD. Once again, our impact this school year was over $426,000. We want to thank the school board for supporting us and for all that you do. We are thankful for the partnership that we have, and we can't wait to see what the future holds as the Education Foundation continues to make a difference in Alvin ISD. Thank you.
Thank you. Want a picture? Would y'all like to come
Yes,
up and
could
have
the board members who are present please come forward for our picture?
And just a reminder that these are all volunteers. You're a volunteer, and so time is valuable, and the time that you all give is very much appreciated. Board, do y'all want to? I think Sheila fed y'all tonight, right? We have the gala coming, what, September 9th?
Gala, September 9th, get your tickets.
Perfect spot. Perfect. Thank you, Melba.
Thank you all.
All right, we're now in the open forum portion of the agenda. If you would like to address the board, you should have completed a public participation form and submitted it to the superintendent secretary prior to the meeting according to policy BED local. After I call your name, please come to the podium and state your name, address, and the purpose for addressing the board. Please understand that you will have 3 minutes to speak. If a translator is needed, you will be given 6 minutes to speak. I ask that you also understand that the board cannot take action on your request or comment at this time. However, the president or designee may refer the request to the superintendent for review. And we have Jordan Reisman.
Hey, good evening, board. My name is Jordan Reisman, 4927 Applewood Crest Lane, over in River Sharon. Come before the board tonight to discuss public regulations regarding the use of track and field facilities for public use. Currently, regarding the high schools, the all-weather tracks, that's not allowed, and we have signage up at the schools that says, trespassing. We have neighboring districts that allow and post the public use of those facilities, and I'd like to see that changed. I think relatively minimal impact to the schools and then to any cost involved in doing that. If there is a need to have some type of committee or something to that effect, I'd certainly be willing to volunteer my time to do that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let me just a second. We're now in the consent agenda portion, and we're going to pull G and do it separately. So do we have, let me get this right here. Do we have a motion to approve consent agenda items A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, and J?
So moved.
By trustee Harris. Do we have a second by trustee Scott? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. All right, now we'll go back to G, and it's request to consider approval of expenditures exceeding $75,000 per line item. Do we have a motion to approve consent agenda item G?
So moved.
By trustee Scheibel. Do we have a second?
Second.
By trustee Johnson. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? All abstain? 6-4, 1 abstain. All right. We will now go to Chris, consider approval of emergency purchase related to disaster responses.
So Board, as you all know, we're in hurricane season, and if an emergency, and this is not just hurricane season, but this is usually when this item comes up on the agenda, but if in an emergency, the superintendent is absent or unavailable by normal communication systems, any of the superintendent's designated backup authorities may execute an emergency contract or make emergency purchases up to $1.5 million in response to disaster.
Do we have a motion to approve, the board approve and authorize the superintendent or her designee to make emergency purchases for a disaster response in an amount of $1.5 million?
So moved.
By trustee Selsky. Do we have a second by trustee Scott? Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we'll go request consider approval of interlocal agreement between Alvin ISD and Brazoria County Health Department.
So Board, our interlocal agreement is up for consideration for renewal. The Brazoria County Health Department wishes to enter into an interlocal agreement with Alvin ISD to address the need for mass immunizations and treatment of large numbers of people during public health emergencies. They are requesting assistance of Alvin ISD to provide possible locations such as the Heritage Complex. This partnership was previously accomplished during the COVID pandemic with mass vaccinations being held at Heritage Complex.
All right, do we have a motion to approve interlocal agreement ILL between Alvin ISD and Brazoria County Health Department?
So moved.
By trustee Peterson. Do we have a second? By trustee Scott. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have request to consider approval of budget for fiscal year 2023-2024.
So Board, during the past few months, the board and staff have devoted considerable time and energy to developing the 23-24 budget. Texas Education Code 44.002 requires that, quote, a budget must be prepared according to generally accepted accounting principles, rules adopted by the State Board of Education, and adopted policies of the Board of Trustees. So we had our workshop, and then this evening, Dr. Combs did the public hearing. So we're asking for consideration of approval for the budget for the 23-24 school year.
And I'm going to make sure I'm on the right one here. Do we have a motion to approve the following 2023-2024? I don't think this is the right, I don't have the right thing up here.
That's it. That's it.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to approve the following 2023-2024 budget positions and included purchases exceeding $75,000 as presented? I don't think that's the right one.
That's not it. That's not it. Sorry. That's what's loaded on there. That's
I'm
what's
sorry.
Is what's in there. That's the one that's,
I don't have it in here.
that the board approved the following 23-24 budget positions and included purchases exceeding $75,000 as
That's what I just
presented.
did,
What is yours?
but I don't think that's it.
That's what mine says. I'm sorry. Excuse us. Yeah, but down here, go down. See, that's what he's reading.
Sorry about that. got to make sure we get this right.
That's what trustee Scott has on his screen as well.
Yep.
And that's what trustee Johnson has. So we're requesting consideration for approval of the 23-24 budget,
Positions
the
and,
positions, and any purchases exceeding 75,000 within
Okay.
that budget.
okay,
Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
So is there a question as to, should it include
No, I
something
ju-
else? That's the fiscal year 23-24.
Okay. So that is the right wording, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Do we have a motion to approve the following 2023-2024 budget positions and included purchases exceeding 75,000 as presented? By trustee Selsky, do we have a second?
Second.
By trustee Scheibel. Any questions or comments?
I have a question. Does the board have any concerns about how it's worded? Or are there any questions about anything? Okay.
This is not anything to do with what we just pulled out, right? Item G? This is
That-
already
No.
approved for 75,000. These are items that
Correct.
were already approved.
No, the one,
What you're doing in
yeah.
this is the items above $75,000 that we discussed in the workshop. So namely school buses, that's a specific purchase y'all would be approving as part of that dollar allocation.
So the one prior to that on G were services that we do throughout the year, like
That's
I'll
the
just say
approval, the actual service.
Tyler
and the-
Technologies, Skyward, those types
The
of
company.
things. Those were, yes.
Yeah, these were
So there's not a tie to this.
these were the larger ticket items
Within
in
the
your
budget.
presentation.
Item
Correct.
Right.
Purchases exceeding 75,000.
Yes,
Within the particular budget that was just presented to us. Correct.
yes.
Yes.
Got it.
And at the workshop.
Got it.
Thank you, Dr. Combs.
And just
All
one
right.
more question, sorry. that-
Sure.
Yeah.
That, I'm sorry?
Go ahead. Vivian's
Go ahead.
question.
That, I mean, you have the sheet behind us, so that includes all the goals we talked about, including the cost of living
Correct.
across the board.
All right.
Across
Any
the
other
board.
questions or comments?
Thank you.
All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, board.
Thank y'all for that. Next, we have request to consider approval of property insurance.
So, Board, the Risk Management Office went out for RFP for the district's property insurance. This coverage includes named windstorm coverage, all other perils as referred to as AOP, and equipment breakdown coverage. The recommendation to the board is to accept the Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Service proposal as presented, even though it's a large amount, and we're asking for consideration.
All right, do we have a motion to approve and accept Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Service proposal as presented, fit for property insurance? So trustee Selsky, do we have a second? By
Second.
trustee Peterson. Any questions or comments?
Can
All
I
in- Go ahead.
make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
The increase is being seen across all districts, across the state, across the nation. Until the state does something about our Texas windstorm insurance, school districts and other small businesses across, especially the Gulf Coast area, are really put in a bind by this increase. And so I just want to put that out there because I know we have trustees who are advocates for the state to do something, and we need them to listen to us. And I thank our trustees up here who have reached out to our elected officials. My colleagues in other districts have done the same. We're not getting a big response, but I think these are dollars that could go to the classroom or to teachers or to personnel, teacher salaries and things, but they're going to insurance. And I understand disasters and it costs a lot, but just know that this is challenging for not only Alvin ISD, but for other, especially Gulf Coast school districts.
All right, any other questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? All right, we have 6 for, 1 against. All right, next we have request to consider approval of Valencia 288 LLC Real Property Exchange.
So, Board, this was consideration adoption of a resolution approving the exchange of a tract of unentitled district land being approximately 18 acres in Brazoria County, Texas, in exchange for approximately a 15-acre tract of land as discussed in closed session at the May Board of Trustee meeting.
Just a second to get to that page. I don't have an action on that, my page. Do you have one on yours?
14. There's no action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an action page.
143.
Page 140.
143.
143,
One, where at?
Right here. Recommendation or proposed motion.
All right. Do we have a motion? Do we have a motion to adopt a resolution approving the exchange of a plus or minus 15-acre tract of land located within an area south of County Road 58, north of Highway 6, east of Texas State Highway 288, and west of FM 1128, located in Brazoria County, Texas, for the Alvin ISD property, along with the payment by the district to offer an approximate value equal to 1.918657 related to the cost of development obligations to be performed by the offer or after closing on such exchange, and authorize the superintendent to negotiate and execute a land exchange agreement.
So moved.
But Trustee
moved.
Harris, do we have a second?
second.
By Trustee Scheibel. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have request to consider approval of employment of personnel.
So Board, this is a long list here of teachers and professionals across the district that we're asking for consideration to offer them a contract for this upcoming year. And this, our hiring supervisors have been busy hiring high-quality people, and this is a pretty long list here, which is exciting because we're filling our openings, but.
All right, do we have a motion to approval be granted for the requested personnel items as presented?
So
By
moved.
Trustee Scott, second by Trustee Peterson. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have request to consider approval of administrative appointment, secondary assistant principals.
So Board, this evening, the committee and my recommendation for an assistant principal for Manville High School to the Board is Mr. Quentin Jones. Mr. Jones is currently serving Alvin ISD as an 8th grade math and algebra teacher and an 8th grade team lead. He previously served 2 years at Manville Junior High School as a 6th and 7th grade APA math teacher and a 7th grade team lead. He began his teaching career in Fort Bend ISD as an 8th grade math and algebra teacher, and Quentin has served 9 years of experience in education, 7 of those here in Alvin ISD. He received his Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies from Texas Southern University and his Master's in Teaching with Principal Certification from Rice University. And so our recommendation this evening for Manville High School Assistant Principal is Mr. Quentin Jones.
All right, do we have a motion to approve Mr. Quentin Jones as Assistant Principal of Manville High School? By Trustee Johnson. Do we have a second? By Trustee Scott. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Congratulations, Quentin. Can you introduce the guest you brought with you, your family? And that's wonderful.
Good deal.
That's wonderful. Is he taking y'all to dinner, or has he already taken you to dinner? Congratulations. We're excited. When I interviewed him, I said, man, I hate to lose a good algebra teacher, but he's going to do amazing things at Manville High School. So congratulations.
Superintendent Nelson, if I could
Yes.
share a personal story. I mean, I know we continue to attract the best talent available. I was sharing with Mary Ann earlier about a camp that my kids go to and that have attended. I have witnessed Quentin's dedication to youth enrichment and literacy since my older kids were his kids' age. And I have seen his dedication. I know we got a great principal, assistant principal, coming
That's
up at Manville
wonderful.
Junior High, and I'm proud of you.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you, Trustee Johnson.
All right, next we have Request to consider approval of administrative appointment, CTE Assistant Director.
So Board, my recommendation and the committee's recommendation for Iowa Colony Assistant Principal is Mr. Charles Moore. Mr. Moore is currently serving Dickinson Independent School District as an ELA curriculum specialist. I'm doing the wrong one?
No.
You're right.
Well.
You're right.
Boy.
Yeah,
Well, County Assistant Principal.
I will call him.
Okay, am I okay? Okay, Charles, I'm going to move forward with you. So, Mr. Charles Moore, he's currently an ELA curriculum specialist. He previously served 19 years with Clear Creek Independent School District as a literacy coach at Brookside Intermediate, an AP language and English teacher at Clear Creek High School, and an English teacher at Clear Springs High School, a resource inclusion teacher at Brookside and Westbrook Intermediate Schools. Charles has 21 years of experience in education. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in Exercise and Sports Science from Texas State University and his Master's in Curriculum and Instruction with literary emphasis from University of Houston. So our recommendation this evening to the board for consideration for assistant principal at Iowa Colony High School is Mr. Charles Moore.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve Mr. Charles Moore as assistant high school principal at Iowa Colony High School? Trustee Harris, second by Trustee Peterson. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Can you introduce your wonderful family? Oh, wait, you got the Iowa Colony colored tie on there too going.
Representing.
Accompanied this evening by my daughter, Ainsley. She's 13. My son, Colton. He's 16 years old. And I don't know that she came with me. I came with her. And that's my wife, Rachel.
Hey, welcome to the family. Congratulations.
All right. Next, we have assistant principal of Rodeo Palms.
Yes, so board, my recommendation for consideration in the committees is our assistant principal for Rodeo Palms Junior High School is Ryan Alder. Ryan is currently serving Clear Creek Independent School District as a sixth grade teacher and athletics coach at Victory Lakes Intermediate School. He previously served Dickinson ISD as a fifth grade teacher, and he has 6 years of experience in education. He received his Bachelor of Science in Teaching and Learning from the University of Houston, his Master's in Educational Administration and Supervision from the University of Houston, with one of his instructors being our very own Dr. Robert Bobby Martinez. So the committee's recommendation is Mr. Ryan Alder for for Rodeo Palms Junior High, assistant principal.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve Ryan Alder as assistant principal of Rodeo Palms Junior High?
So moved.
By Trustee Johnson. Do we have a second by Trustee Scheibel? Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Congratulations, Ryan. Bring a guest this evening with you?
I brought my beautiful girlfriend, Dara.
Oh, welcome. Congratulations. And if all of you will stay after, Rachel will be taking pictures up front here, so.
Now, request to consider approval of administrative appointment, CTE Assistant Director.
Yes, so board, my recommendation, as well as Ms. Johansson, Dr. Martinez, and the committee, is Ms. Catherine McLaren. She's currently serving Alvin ISD as coordinator at Career and Technology Education. She previously served 11 years at Alvin High School as a family and consumer science teacher, followed by 1 year with Angleton ISD. Catherine has 21 years of experience in education, 20 of those here in Alvin ISD. She received her bachelor's in home ec from Sam Houston State University and her master's in education administration from Lamar University. And I know from experience, Ms. McLaren has done so many wonderful things for our CTE program over the years and is the utmost professional and I know well respected by her peers. So we're asking for consideration for Ms. McLaren as Assistant Director of CTE.
All right, do we have a motion for Catherine McLaren, the Assistant Director of Career and Technology Education?
So moved.
By Trustee Scott, a second by Trustee Peterson. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Congratulations, Catherine. I know you have a lot of your colleagues. Anyone you want to introduce? Congratulations. We see you, Miss Rice, back there. Welcome.
Very good. All right. At this time, we will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following section codes of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Texas Open Meetings Act 551076 and 551074. right, we're now back in open session, and we will go to the election of board officers and request to consider check writing authority.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the slate of officers?
Wait a minute. I need a motion to approve the slate of, to approve officers. You just have to say, I'll make a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the slate of officers for
The names and the position.
the names and the positions as follows. President, Earl Humbird. Vice President, Regan Peterson. Secretary, A.J. Johnson.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Trustee Scheibel, any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-2. I mean 5-2, I'm sorry.
Voted against. She has to put it in the minutes.
Oh, AJ and Selsky. All right, at this time, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second by trustee Harris, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you all very much.